Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to give you 5 easy tips and tricks that you need to know to help you make better videos on your phone. Let's go. So the first thing I would recommend if you want to take iPhone videography more seriously is getting an app. An app lets you control all the functions of your phone manually, and you can adjust, for example, the shutter speed, or you can adjust the ISO that your footage isn't as grainy, or you can add focus peaking so you can see what's in focus. It gives you more flexibility, and at the end it will get you a better image. When it comes to apps, there's a few possibilities out there. Personally, I use the Pro Camera app from Moment, and it gives you full menu control over your phone's camera settings, as well as a flatter profile, a log profile, which amps up your image quality as well. There's another app called Filmic Pro. It might be the most advanced camera app on the market, but it also costs $15, which is double the price of the Pro Camera app from Moment that I use. If you're starting out, I would really recommend getting something cheaper, as long as you don't use the phone's native camera app. So the first thing I'm doing when I shoot a new video is I adjust my shutter speed, and I adjust it to double the frame rate. Most of the videos you're gonna shoot are in 24 frames, so you wanna have 1/48 of a shutter speed. Then I'm gonna go to the location that I'm filming at, setting up the frame, and then set a fixed ISO according to the lighting situation at that particular location. And I'm doing that for 2 reasons. First, you don't want to have an ISO which is too high because your footage gets a lot grainy. And the second is you want to have a fixed ISO because you don't want the camera to jump around on the exposure. That's the worst thing when you see videos where the exposure changes all over the video. It doesn't look professional, so you want to have a fixed ISO and a fixed shutter speed. Also, these camera apps let you shoot on a flatter profile so you can get more dynamic range out of your footage. Personally, I shoot in a log profile, but there's also a flat profile in that camera app I'm using. But this is really more for the advanced people. If you're just shooting simple videos, you might just use the normal camera settings. If you're shooting more like product videos or like higher end commercials on your phone, which you can do, you might want to use a flatter profile that you can color grade later. So the second tip I got for you is that you get some sort of stabilization or something you can mount the phone on. So there's a few different options that I have here. I have this gimbal here, which can carry any common phones, and you just clamp it in here at the top, and then you just can mount it, and you can use it also as a tripod if you really mount it on these little feet here, and then you just can rest it on a table, and then you can just leave it there and use it as a tripod. And then you can also just pick it up and then move it around if you want to get into more moving shots. But there's also some other options here. You can also rig it up to like something like these tripod feet here with this arm here that I used. It's just a simple gobo arm, and you just can get these extensions here. I link all the stuff down below, and you can just rig it up to something like tripod feet, or you can just actually rig it up to a tripod itself. And what I also used to do is, which is pretty simple, I use this suction cup. You can just place it on your phone and then just attach it. And then you can also rig it up to like a tripod or anything else, and it gives you more flexibility. It's pretty simple, and it just holds pretty nicely. So this is a nice little trick. I link all the stuff down below so you can check it out for yourself. But yeah, you want to have something that you can rig your phone up to, either a tripod or a gimbal, because this will make your videos look more professional if the footage is steady or still. So the third tip is understand basic lighting techniques. This might be the most important tip because the biggest limitation of phones is the small sensor compared to normal cameras. The sensor is way smaller, even though the phones are better computers. You have to really get good lighting because the footage gets grainy otherwise. So you don't need any fancy lighting equipment, just use the simple stuff that you have. Don't film in a dark place, so don't film inside too much. If you have the opportunity to shoot outside, film outside because there's always light out there. If you shoot inside, go film right next to a window. Don't let your subject be hit by direct sunlight into the face. There's simple techniques that you just have to look out for. If you don't have any lights, that's fine. Just use the natural light that is available. But there's some small light tubes that are not expensive you can use to really enhance. If there's a dark spot and you want to really film there, you can just enhance your face or something with these small light tubes, or you want to film a product and you can just like use this to light the product. There's cool cheap lights nowadays that don't cost a fortune, and I'll link them down below. This might seem like a no-brainer, but make sure you use the back camera, not the front camera when you record your videos. Also make sure that the lens is clean, so maybe use a cloth to wipe it off. Also, a common mistake is when I see people film themselves is they look directly at themselves. They don't look into the camera. So if you want to film yourself, just look right up the lens. Another important thing when you film yourself is you want to have the phone at eye level. Don't have it too high or too low, because it will look weird and people get distracted. Also, what's really important is that you don't zoom in electronically. This will really get the quality of your footage down. If you want to get some close-up shots, move the camera closer, or if your phone has a zoom lens, use that one. Also make sure before you start recording you know where the video is going. Is it going on YouTube? Then you might record in a horizontal format. Is it going on Instagram? Then the optimal format would be record in vertical mode. So the last point, we gotta talk about audio, because audio is mostly overlooked when it comes to mobile video, but it's really important. There's a few different things you can do, because if you have bad audio, nobody will watch your videos. For example, if you have a second phone, you can place the phone closer to the person who is talking in your videos so you can get better audio. The closer you move the microphone to the person, the better the audio is. Secondly, you can get an external microphone for your phone. Either a lavalier microphone you can attach to your clothes, or you can get a shotgun microphone. There's a few different options out there. I'll link them down below, and it's pretty easy to attach. And you can also just record the audio through the Pro Camera app from Moment that I talked about earlier. And you can also monitor the levels of the audio so you don't get peaking and everything. It's pretty simple, but good audio is so important. So that's it. Thanks so much for sticking around until the end of the video. I hope you learned something today. A free and easy way to support the channel is hit that like button. If you create something cool with your phone and apply some of these tricks that we learned today, make sure to tag me on Instagram. I'm really excited what you guys come up with, and I see you in the next video.